Hey, everybody. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to today's LS. Welcome to today's LS. And today we have an interesting topic, as you can see from the title, and we're basically talking about eating clean. Are you eating clean all the time to lose weight? Are you supposed to be eating clean to lose weight? And perhaps it's the reason why you failed to lose weight despite all the efforts that you've put in. So please, if you're joining us, please join us live chat together. Let's have this amazing live chat together. Ask me all the questions, and I'll tell you why eating clean is not the best option for you if you're someone there trying to lose some pounds of fat or some pounds of weight. Otherwise, I'll come you to today's afternoon areas, wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Right here, it's a good evening. It's about 16:30 p.m. East African time. Feel free to join us. Feel free to join us and come. Let's have an time. Let's have an time here. Hey, if you're in the building, thanks for joining us. Let me know that you're here. And we have an interesting topic as title. And today we're just basically talking about eating clean. Are you eating clean out there to lose weight? Perhaps it's the reason why you're not losing weight. Everybody, what's up? Welcome to today's LS. This afternoon's LS. I'll come you. I will come you. Hi. Just if you wonder what I'm doing, I'm just trying to share myself out so that more people can join the audience and we have an amazing time. Thank you for understanding, guys. Otherwise, if you have any questions regarding weight loss, fat loss, fitness, could even be just healthy question, I'm willing to answer it for you right here. Don't hesitate to ask any question. Hey, please, if you're in the building, if you're in the building, let me know that you're in the building so that I can, shout you out and we start this amazing topic today. Otherwise, if you already joined us, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you. Fitness Steady, what's up? What's up? How you doing, bro? I saw you out. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you beyond measure. You're one of the few realist persons that I think I've ever met on Whitey, bro. I see you trying to support everyone, and as we try to support you back, I appreciate you, bro, and thanks for the good work that you're doing. I always follow your workouts. Only that these days I'm able to catch your live workouts sometimes when you're in the gym because of my work schedule. But I appreciate you, bro. I think we need to connect on IG ASAP. We just need to connect as soon as possible, bro. We need to do that. If you're able to go to your IG right now, go find Girls Fitness, just lowercase, and we connect, bro. Because you're one of the realest people that I've ever found. Let me know where you're best. Let me know where you're best. Which country are you based on? Which country are you based in? Fitness Steady? Yeah, so we basically have an interesting topic today, and we're talking about eating clean. Some people when they start their weight loss journey, they think it's about eating clean that will help them see results. But we're here to basically discuss that if it's will help eating clean. And I'm just waiting for audience join in, and then we get started. Patil, hey, what's up? How you doing? Hey, how you doing? Welcome to today's LSO Fitness Studio in Ireland. You're in Ireland. That's amazing. I'm from Uganda, East Africa. I'm from Uganda, East Africa, bro. But thanks for joining. Patil, how you doing? How's everything? And today we have an interesting topic that you guys shouldn't miss. So fitness study, how is your nutrition? I mean, I see you're marked, you have perhaps a six pack, you've lost weight. Basically, you know what to do with your body. So I want to know, how do you basically eat? Are you someone who eats clean, who gets rid of all the carbs? Are you someone who really looks into everything that you eat? How do you handle your nutrition when it comes to training? I'm really willing to hear that from you. But otherwise, thanks for joining me, bro. Thanks for joining me, bro. I appreciate you beyond measure. Appreciate you for coming. If you're in the house, appreciate you. I appreciate you. I don't take granted. in the house, if you're in the house, you're one of the amazing people. Just know that. Um, oh yes, we all need to keep pushing. We all need to keep pushing hard. We need all keep pushing hard. So I was asking Fitness that how is the nutrition? How do you handle nutrition? Fitness? I mean, that's one of the hardest things that people find it hard. People are either willing to trade, but when it comes to regulating their nutrition, it's always a problem. So you who has been in this industry, how do you handle training? I'm really curious to know about that. And then I'll give you my side. I'll give you my side. Because really, when it comes to nutrition, I think it forms like 75% of all the results that you expect, all the results that you want. So, how do you handle nutrition? Are you somebody who also eats clean all the time? Are you somebody who eats clean all the time? So basically, if you're wondering why I haven't started, is I'm just waiting for some few people to join us, five, so that we can get our topic on the road. So that we can get our topic on the road. So please, if you've just joined us and you're in the house, please let us know that you are here so that we can give you a shout out. Let us know that you're here by asking any questions about nutrition, food, or any other healthy question. Don't hesitate to ask. I'll be so answer. And please make sure that you stay in the house, because what happens is if you just come in the house for a few minutes and leave, then it's hard for YouTube to count you as part of the audience. Hi, Belinda Jibas. Hi, welcome to my LS. I appreciate you. I think it's the first time that you're coming to LS. Yes, but you're asking questions. Are you a trainer? I'm having questions. Yes, I'm a PT personal trainer. I'm a certified personal trainer. So if you have some questions, please ask me. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. So Belinda, how you doing? Do you have any facts? Are there some thanks for the thumbs up, meanwhile, Belinda. Thanks for the thumbs up. So I'm asking you, do you have some fat loss goals, weight loss goals? Are you somebody who is eating clean, achieve your goals? What are you basically doing? I want to know that if you're so much interested in fitness, or you're just yourself, you just have the way you are. It doesn't matter whether you exercise or do anything. But till you're asking, you 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 have an interesting question here. I want to lose skinny fat and I'm 18. So you're saying you're 83 years old and you're 6 feet. Wow, wow. Interesting question. Interesting question. So I'll start with Fatil. Let me even highlight your question. Yeah. So you're saying you're skinny fat and you're 18 and you want to lose some of that skinny fat. So basically, being skinny fat is you don't have enough muscle mass, but at the same time, you don't have a high fat body percentage that would make you look overweight or obese. But of course, if you're 83, still you have some good percentage of fat on you if you don't have visible muscle mass. So where do you want? This is where we're going to start from. One thing you need to know is don't make a mistake of trying to bulk up before you cut off the skin fat. So some people make mistakes when they want to bulk up, when they want to lose some fat or skin fat, they would focus on bulking up first so that they can cut later at the same time. One thing I want to advise you is try with losing weight rather than first bulking up and then you come down to some weight. So these are things you need to know. You need to first sit down and start tracking your macros. That's number one. You need to watch what you eat, but at the same time, you need to train. So I want to tell you 4 things that are going to form your journey. Is creating a caloric deficit. You must eat less than what your body needs. So one thing you know how to do that is macros. You want to track how many carbs are you eating in a day, how much fat are you eating, and how much protein are you eating in a day. So if I can give you a highlight, for example, 1 gram of protein and 1 gram of carbs. For example, a single 1 gram of protein is just 4 calories. A single gram of carbs um, is basically 4 calories as well. 1 gram of fat is about 9 calories. So if you really want to lose that skinny fat, you need to track your macros so that you're in a calorie deficit. So how do you know your maintenance? So basically you need to get your body weight. For example, you're 83 kilograms, then multiply that by about 15, 14 to 15. If you get it in pounds, you can change your kgs in then do the same. So get those pounds. If let's say you're 180 pounds, multiply by 15, and then what you get, those are the calories that you're supposed to be taking on a daily basis. So if your maintenance calories, or if the calories that your body needs work, or what we call the basal metabolic rate, is about 2,000 calories, but then you also have calories, what we call the in digestion and all that. So you need to be like, if your maintenance calories is about 2,000 calories, you need to be eating 500 below that. So if you really want us to talk about calories, you can inbox me on my IG Girls Fitness so that I can teach you how to track your macros. So that you can watch what you eat to stay in a continuous caloric deficit. So it's the of the caloric deficit that you're going to see results. So I said something here. I need to highlight it because it's very important. If you're looking to if you're trying to lose weight, you must work little hard and watch what you eat. And that's what I'm trying to say. 75% of the results of your goals will come from watching what you eat. And that's what you're saying. You must stay in a consistent caloric deficit and then eating enough protein. So one thing you need to know is carbs, I think, have been of having a lot of calories, especially if you're eating a lot of processed foods, a lot of junk food has a lot of calories. That's why sometimes people they say you have to exclude such kind of foods from your diet. But one thing you need to know, you need a caloric deficit. Number two, so caloric deficit, it doesn't matter what you eat, but what matters most is how do you create a caloric deficit and how are you going to stay in a caloric deficit. So something else that you need to know is, so that's about caloric deficit. So you need to know, oh, hey, KK, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, KK, I appreciate you. So you need to know one thing, you need to create a calorie deficit. It doesn't matter how you create it, but you need to create it. So one thing, monitoring the calories that you take in, but you can also monitor the calories that you expend. I mean, the calories that you burn on a treadmill. And there's so many apps that can help you track your macros. So it's very, very important that you do that. Then number two that you need to focus on getting adequate sleep. Adequate sleep is very, very important. You don't lose fat when you're in the gym. You don't lose fat when you're eating. You don't lose fat when you're walking. You only lose fat when you're asleep. So if you're getting insufficient sleep, trust me, it doesn't matter how good your exercise programs are. It doesn't matter how good or palatable your nutrition programs are looking. You're not going to lose weight. So I recommend particularly that you get about 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. That's the most very important thing. One thing that happens is when you're asleep, that's when your growth hormone that is important in burning fat, your testosterone, that's when they are optimized. Hormone stuff like ghrelin is suppressed, leptin, which is your fat burning hormone, is optimized, and then the brain hormone is down. So if you mess up with the sleep, trust me, you're going to find it difficult for you to start losing fat. Fitness study is still saying something. To lose weight, drink lemon plus warm water plus cucumber and drink it 3 times a day. Also do some exercise. Yeah, well done. Some of these drinks have been implicating in boosting your metabolism. They basically increase your metabolism. Remember, the faster your metabolism, the more calories that you're burning. So fitness study, I agree with you. And on top of that, lemon, water, cucumber, such kind of, they don't contain calories. So one thing, you're taking something, you're not getting hungry, because what makes people fail to create a caloric deficit is because of hunger. They're always hungry all the time, and they're unable to bear that. So what such kind of stuff do, for example, green tea, cucumber, lemon, water, staying hydrated all the time, is you suppress your hunger hormones and you're eating less, and hence you're in a caloric deficit. So the moment you're in a caloric deficit for some time, then you're going to start seeing results. So also, Pati, what I want to tell you, if you're still here, when you're trying to create a caloric deficit, you need to focus on eating satiating foods. You need to eat whole foods which are more satiating. So that, for example, if you have a good breakfast, you're sure that you're not going to snack in between, so that you can go beyond your targeted calories of the day. So it's important that if you're trying to eat, try to eat as much as you can. Oh, Charisa's World, what's up? How you doing? How you doing? I see you. I see you. I see. And guys, if you're in a position to share me out, please share me out to your audiences so that they can come through and we have an amazing time here. CV coach, what's up? How you doing? How you doing? Hope you are having a good time wherever you are. Thanks for joining us on this afternoon's areas. So I was saying that while trying to create a caloric deficit, make sure that you're eating foods which are satiating or high satiety foods. Try to eat a lot of foods that have low calories, but at the same time, these foods, they are more satiating, so that you don't have grain hormone, that's the hunger hormone, disturbing you all the time and wanting to eat, and then you can't bear the hunger anymore. So try to eat a lot of such kind of satiating foods that are basically protein foods. A lot of protein is satiating, stuff like eggs, stuff like veggies, vegetables, leafy greens. They contain a lot of fiber, and at the same time they contain less calories. What does that mean is you're full all the time, but you've taken in less calories. You understand? But some people, what they do, for example, a lot of junk, it has more calories, but at the same time, these are empty calories. But then also, they are not satiating. So, for example, if you drink a bottle of soda, trust me, it has a lot of calories, but do you get full? No, you don't. So they're basically empty calories. So you need to capitalize. Alex Masaba, how you doing? I see you, bro. Thanks for joining my LS. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for coming through. So I'm simply saying that if you're someone who is trying to lose weight, you must focus on eating whole foods or high satiating foods. And these foods, they are whole foods basically. These are not processed foods. You must focus on, if it's carbs, you must focus on eating a whole carb, stuff like sweet potatoes, stuff like oats, stuff like brown rice, stuff like wild, such kind of foods, instead of grabbing burgers and supermarket foods that you find in the shelves. So you need to focus on such foods that are whole feeding and satiating, so that they don't contain a lot of calories, but at the same time they're able to contain your hunger. But at the same time, these foods, they're able to stimulate your leptin. I mean, leptin, this is your hormone that basically tells you that you're full. This is the hormone that tells you you're full, bro. Can you stop eating? So foods which are processed, or beverages which are processed, basically, they don't stimulate such kind of a hormone leptin, which is your satiety hormone. So that's why they're leaving you feeling hungry all the time. It doesn't matter how many bottles of soda that you take, you still feel hungry after some few minutes. You understand what I'm saying? But basically, what those calories do is because they don't have fiber, they've had their fiber not scraped off, so they have a high glycemic index. I mean, how fast they can be absorbed from your GIT. What does that one mean for you is they're going to stimulate your insulin, and they cause like something we call an insulin sugar crash. So your insulin is swinging and then get it out from the blood and go and deposit it as fat, and then you're hungry again and you want to keep eating all the time, which doesn't happen with whole foods or what we call satiating foods. So Alex, you want me to see some Muganda? I'm not a Muganda. I'm Nyankore from the western part of the country, from Mbarara for that case. And on top of that, we have an international audience here that doesn't listen to our language. NK Esther, hey, how you doing? What's up? Welcome to my ears. I appreciate you for coming. I appreciate that you are here. So we're basically talking about eating clean and losing fat and fitness in general. If you have any question, please let me know. So Pati, if you're still in the building, hope I've answered part of it. Then number three, oh, you're from Germany. Esther, how is Germany? How is Germany? Uganda, we are doing okay. Uganda, East Africa, we are doing good. So I was saying, number four, you need to be patient. I mean, you didn't get skinny fat in a day. You didn't wake up one day and you're skinny fat, or you were overweight, or you were obese. It took you ages. You ate a lot of meals and you basically look what you ate. So you have to withdraw what you ate and a little bit be patient so that you're able to start losing some weight. So it's really very, very important to be patient. So you might even spend you might even spend a month without seeing results. You might even spend 3 months, and after 3 months start seeing some results. So you need to be patient. This is not going to happen in a day. So patience and consistency is key. Then another thing we talk in my areas is you need to set realistic goals. For example, you're 83 kilograms, but how fast can you lose that towards your target? What you need to know is you're able to lose about zero point 0.5. I mean, 1 pound of weight or fat per week. You understand? And 1 pound of fat is about 3,500 calories. So, which means in a week you're losing if you're in a deficit of 500 calories per week, and then 1 pound of fat is about 3,500 calories. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, which means for 7 days, if you're eating a caloric deficit of 500, for 7 days, we will have 3,500 calories. So in a week, you'll be able to lose about 1 pound of fat. So you can imagine if you're able to do that for a month, that's about 4 pounds. So you can imagine in 5 months, 6 months, and a year. So you have achieved your goals. So it's about patience and knowing the process and then trusting the process. So the question is, what are your goals? Ask yourself, why do you want to change now? So the stronger the why you want to change your body, why you want to lose weight, is going to form the foundation for your weight loss. So if you have a stronger why you want to lose weight or why you want to change the way you look right now, then the resilient you're going to be when it comes to losing weight. Fitness study, it's okay. I'm waiting to see you back, but thanks for coming. And guys, if you're in the house, thumbs up for the horse, thumbs up for the horse. If you're in a position to share me out your friends, please share me out so that we can have an amazing audience right here. Hey Carol, thanks for coming through. I don't know how they say good afternoon, good evening in Israel, but I would wish to learn so. But thanks for coming through, thanks for checking me out. So, but if you're still in the house, that's what we need. So let's go back to the topic today. Eating clean is stopping you from losing weight. So, however much you want to lose fat, Belinda is saying you want to lose some weight on your hips. Roll. I know, Carl, it's okay. I understand. So you want to lose weight on your hips. So this is what I always want to tell people, that when you start losing weight, there's nothing like what we call targeted fat reduction. I mean, you don't wake up one day and you say you want to lose fat on your face only. You don't wake up one day and you say you want to lose belly fat. Your body does not work that way. The moment you start losing fat, you're going to lose fat the entire body, including the spot that you want. Does that make some sense? If it makes some sense, let me know. I mean, there's nothing like targeted fat reduction. When you start a weight loss journey, you're going to lose fat the entire body. For example, it's like having water in the pool. So you want to get the bottom water. So what do you have to do? You have to first get water on the top. Does that make some sense? I guess. So if you're trying to lose a fat on your hips, which means you have to lose fat on your face, on your arms, including your hips. Belinda, does that make some sense? So basically what you need to do is to lose fat. You need about 4 things. You need to know the why. Two, you need to know that you have to be in a calorie deficit, whether you want to lose arm fat, whether you want to lose belly fat, whether you want to lose hip fat, it doesn't matter. You have to be in a calorie deficit, then you have to get enough sleep, you need to eat whole foods, you need to capitalize on your proteins, and you need to be patient. Hope that makes some sense, Belinda, right? Hope it does. So basically, for you to start losing some fat on your hips is focus on those things, and that's the exercise. Do some squats. You don't get that ass by just sitting on it. You get that perfect ass by just working it out. So exercise does not burn fat. Exercise burns calories and builds muscle. Hope that makes some sense. So some people will go and do a lot of endless cardio to lose some fat, but it won't work. It's not going to work for you. You understand what I'm saying? So what cardio will do, it will tend to, put some muscle on you sometimes, because basically that's what exercise does. I mean, you're tearing your muscles up, so they have to repair when they are very much bigger and very much stronger. So exercise, when it comes to fat loss, yes, it's very important, but you shouldn't focus on it first as your nutrition. So Belinda, you need to still do your squats, you need to still do your lunges, you need to do your hip exercises to still get that perfect ass without some fat. So NK question, I saw a question and I'm not ignoring it. You're saying, what are the best food combinations for weight loss? So one thing you need to know about weight loss, best food combinations, this is what we need. You need to focus on eating whole protein, whole foods. So you need to focus however much you want to lose fat, however much you want to lose weight, my friend, you still need fat. Fat is very important. Without fat on you, you can't live. So however much you want to lose fat, but you still need fat. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what you need to know. Fat helps in the production of all the important hormones. All your hormones come from fat. So if you stop taking fat, then you're kind of like doomed, because you need fat. But what you're saying here, you need to be taking the good fats. So there's what we call essential fats, essential amino acids, but here we're talking about essential good fats that your body needs. The reason why I've started like that, I'll tell you some of the foods that actually contain some fat, and I didn't want you to wonder why I need to be taking such kind of foods. So best combination that you need, you still need your carbohydrates, you still need your protein, but you still need your fat. So for example, when it comes to carbohydrates, I'll start with that because that's what has been demonized. You still need to eat carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, the primary source of energy for your body. So if you stop eating carbohydrates, where are going to get the energy? Ask yourself that very important question. If you're kind of someone who goes to the gym, where are going to get the energy to start training or lifting weights? So you need to be eating carbohydrates, but which type of carbohydrates is a very important thing. So here, when we talk about carbohydrates, it's something we call glycogen. So glycogen is basically a storage form of carbohydrates, but this is the good one. So carbohydrates has basically they have two storage forms. So can be stored as glycogen, but can be stored as fat as well. So basically, you need to focus on eating carbohydrates, which are very good at replenishing your glycogen. Because when you're training, when in the gym exercising, you're basically using your glycogen. You break down your glycogen to provide you with energy or provide you with you sugar to help you get the energy to work out. You understand what I'm saying? So you need to aim at eating carbohydrates, but which kind of carbohydrates I'm talking about? Whole foods that contain carbohydrates. I'm talking about stuff like sweet potatoes. I'm talking about stuff like brown rice. I'm talking about stuff like oats. I'm talking about all that kind of stuff that is natural. And you need to be eating about 400 grams per day for you to lose some weight. I mean, you really need carbs for you to live. You can't live without them. Then you need to take a lot of protein. So you need to focus on eating protein. So the reason why protein is good, there's something we call a thermic effect. So this is how much energy that you burn while trying to digest the food that you take in. So proteins breaks a lot of you need a lot of calories for you to digest proteins. Some people they actually don't know that. Actually, about 35% of all the calories that you eat in a day go back to digesting protein. So which means if you're digesting protein, breaking a lot of calories to digest protein, you're going to create a calorie deficit even when you're sleeping. So you've eaten calories to break down calories. You know what I'm saying? So protein needs a lot of calories to be digested. So if you're aiming at calorie deficit and you're eating protein, then you're on the right track. But also protein will help you to spare your muscle mass. So however much you're losing fat, you don't want to lose some muscle because basically proteins are bodybuilding foods. So you still need some muscle mass on you. So which means you're going to lose fat and then keep with your muscle mass. Then 15%, 20% of your remaining food should come from carbohydrates. So you can have about 55%. For example, you can have about 55% of your foods as carbohydrates. You can have about 30% or 35% protein, and then about 20% as fats. Hope NK Esther, I'm answering your question. So the best combination that you'll be eating, you need to be eating stuff like eggs, you need to be eating stuff that has a lot of fiber like yellow bananas, you need to be eating stuff like green tea, you need to be eating stuff like coffee. Coffee is good, green tea is good, stuff like Greek yogurt, stuff like of course if you're even training and you want to maximize your protein intake, you need some protein powders like whey and casein. They have been researched and they're really good for you when it comes to losing weight. You need to be eating a lot of all that stuff. You need to be eating stuff like almonds. You need to be eating stuff like soya beans, stuff like beans. Usual beans, kidney beans, pintos. All those good foods are good for you when it comes to weight loss. So weight loss it all goes down. It all trickles down to creating a calorie deficit. So basically, going back to that topic now, why eating clean is very, very hard and why it's stopping you from losing weight is you can't be perfect 100%. That's what most people try to believe, but it cannot work that way. One, this is what I always advise people. Try eating 80% right and then 20% enjoy your favorite foods. I mean, it doesn't mean that if you're on a weight loss journey, you can't have a pizza, you can't have a burger, you can't have your pastas. But where the problem comes from is when the junk or when the such kind of foods what we demonize as bad foods form the bulk of your diet. That's where the problem is. So we want you to capitalize on whole foods. I mean, you want to capitalize on eating right 80% and then enjoying your favorite foods 20%. So that's all what we're saying. For if you try to be perfect 100%, you can't do that. And the problem is you don't want to start a weight loss journey that you are unable to maintain. And this has happened for most people. Most people, when they start losing weight, what happens is because they used so-called hacks to lose weight, they created a caloric deficit that was so much that was unhealthy for them to even maintain for 6 months. After that, they gain all the fat. I mean, these are the people you find they've been in a caloric deficit for like some few days, but when they get to eat, they binge eat. So all the calories that they fail to eat in a week, they're eating these calories in just 2 days. So it's really, really hard. So instead of trying to, starve yourself or your favorite foods, just focus on 80% eating the right way and 20% eating your favorite foods. Even if you're eating not for fat loss but for health reasons, I know I feel you, brother or sister out there. Try as much as you can to involve your favorite foods, the foods that you enjoy in your diet, but it should form this percentage of your diet. And this is where most people have been getting it wrong. But when you say cut out carbohydrates, you cut your carbohydrates out completely. When you say cut out all the sugar, you cut out all the sugar completely. That's what we are saying. We are saying that if you used to take sugar every day, you can take it once a week. I mean, at the end of the day, it all trickles down to a caloric deficit. So it doesn't matter even which kind of foods that you eat, but as long as you're in a caloric deficit, guys, you must lose weight. So you need to know that from today and onwards. So if you're still in the house, please, please, please let me know. You're an amazing person out there for me. You're an amazing person out there for me. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thanks so much, guys. So, Esther, you also have another question. Does taking slimming tea good for losing weight? So, NK Esther, there's nothing like slimming tea. I mean, people have made so many things out there, weight loss, boosters, but all those things, trust me, they don't work. But let me tell you one thing. If you're trying to lose weight, like I've said, it's about creating a caloric deficit. But what stuff like tea, stuff like coffee, stuff like green tea helps you on is these foods or these beverages or these drinks, they do not contain any calories. So if you're trying to create a caloric deficit or if you want to reduce the frequency of eating, you can still drink your water, you can still drink your tea, you can still drink your coffee. It doesn't matter which type of coffee, as long as they don't contain calories. I don't know if that makes some sense, Esther. So the reason why you need to take such kind of foods is you need to suppress your hunger. So some people really find it hard to keep going with an empty stomach. So when you put in your coffee, it's even going to boost your metabolism, it's going to boost your energy a little bit. And at the same time, it has no effect on your insulin, it has no effect on your sugar. So what does that one mean is you kind of feel full if you're hydrated all the time, if you're taking your green tea, you still have your hunger suppressed, you're not hungry all the time. That's why they say lemon, wine, such kind of stuff works. But basically how these things work, for example, tea contains some caffeine. These are things that boost your metabolism. And the faster your metabolism is, the faster you're burning fat. Or if that makes some sense, Esther. So if you have a fast working metabolism, then you're burning more fat. That's what I'm saying. So that's why it's okay for you to take your tea. It's okay for you to take your coffee. But of course, tea and coffee contain caffeine, which is a psychoactive drug. So you don't want to take a lot of it. So the recommended dose is about 100 to 300 grams per milligrams per day. So the moment you go beyond that, then you're going to become addicted to caffeine, and your body's metabolism is not going to work without caffeine. So it's important, as much as you try to take the slimming tea, the coffee, take it in moderation. So the keyword here is taking in moderation. So it's very, very important to note that. So take your everything as long as they don't contain calories. But I'm not saying don't eat calories. I'm simply saying have a target, calculate your maintenance calories, calculate the your calories you need for your activity, like walking a little bit, walking upstairs. You need the calories, your thermic effect. So there's something called thermic effect of food. It also needs some calories. So when you're eating calories, you must count for all of that. Then after that, you get your maintenance calories. So when you get your maintenance calories, um, you'll be able to know, for me to be in a deficit, I need to go 500 below this. And the same works for when you want to build muscle or gain weight. You have to be in a surplus about 500 calories beyond what your maintenance calories are. So you need to be in a surplus if you want to gain weight and lose and gain some muscle as well. So that's how it basically works. So you need to start tracking your macros. There's so many apps there, Esther online, to help you track your macros, and they'll show you how to use such kind of apps. Trust me, it will be easy for you to understand the calories that you're taking, because the reason why you have all this fat, it's simply because you ate so much sugar, basically in a caloric surplus. So being in a caloric surplus, you have to be, putting on some fat, especially if you're not training hard. So basically, you need to create a calorie deficit for you to lose that. Mhm. We still have two amazing people in the house. If you still have any question, feel free to drop it. Feel free to drop it. Feel free to drop all your questions here. I'll be willing to answer. I'll be willing to answer them for you. If you've just joined us, please let me know. If you have any question, please let me know so that we can have a live chat together and answer your questions too. But thanks so much for coming through, guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate you beyond measure. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. So, Esther, are you satisfied or you still have more questions? Let me know. Let me know if you still have more questions, Esther. And if you're in the house also and you still have some questions, please, please, please feel free to let me know. If you've just joined us, please let me know that you're in a house. Let me know that you're in a house. SNP, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. How are you? So you have an interesting question here. You say, I want to lose some tummy. I'm coming, Esther. I mean, SNP, I'm coming. So basically, this is what we've been talking about. Oh, Esther, you're okay now. You're okay now. I'm happy that I've answered your question. I'm Shaira. Hey, what's up? Thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming through. So, guys, go out and check that girl out. Go out and check. I'm Shaira. She's an amazing YouTuber from Uganda, UG, East Africa. So, Asen is saying, I want to lose some tummy. How do I do that? So, this is what we are from talking about. But I'm going to recap everything for you that you finally hear. So basically, don't go away, don't go away. So one thing when it comes to losing belly fat, belly fat is the hardest to lose for most people. That's why most people are trying as much as they can to lose belly fat, but it's the hardest to lose. And I want to first tell you why it is very hard to lose. Your body, first of all, find it easier to deposit all the fat when you're eating a caloric surplus on the belly, because that's why most men, when we are gaining fat, when we're getting fat, what comes first is the belly, because your body finds it convenient and it's the nearest for the liver to kind of deposit all this fat. That's one thing. So when it comes to losing it, the reason why it is basically hard is, you need to know this, it has a poor blood supply. So when you're exercising, doing all your crunches, all the ab exercises, however much you're exercising, your body is unable to burn the fat very fast because the blood supply to that area is very poor. Makes some sense. So because of that blood supply to that area, it really makes it hard for you to lose fat on that area if you're patient. So the reason why most people try as much as they can to lose fat on that area, but they still struggle, is they are not patient. So one thing I want you to ask yourself as CNP is, why do you want to lose belly fat? Do you want to lose belly fat because you saw someone in a movie with a flat waist? Do you want to use the belly fat because your friend on your side right now has a flat stomach? You have your own reasons why you want to lose belly fat or tummy fat. So you need to ask yourself that question. Ask yourself, why do I need to change the way I look? If I have my fat, why do I need to lose it? So what does that one help you? To form a strong foundation for your weight loss or your fat loss on that area. If your why you want to change is very weak, then trust me, you're going to get off the road very fast before you can see the results. The stronger the why, the more resilient you're going to be, the more energy you're going to put in for you to lose such kind of fat. So some people basically, they don't have realistic goals when it comes to losing belly fat. So have you set realistic goals for you to lose belly fat? If you have, then we can go to number 2. So it doesn't matter whether you have the best nutrition, whether you have the best training programs. If your why is very weak, you're not going to see results. And most people underlook this, but to me, it's very important. Then number 2, I'm going to talk about something we've just talked about, a calorie deficit. For you to lose weight, for you to lose fat, you must create what we call a calorie deficit. Let me know as CNP if you're still in the building, because I'm talking to you. So for you, the reason you put on that fat on the belly is because you are eating more than what your body needs. The moment you eat more than what your body needs, your body tends to store the excess. So the body stores the excess as one, glycogen. So it's basically, if you've been taking so much sugar, you store it as glycogen. So glycogen is the good form storage of sugar, because when you need it, your body is going to break the glycogen to provide you with sugar to give you some energy. But the problem with glycogen is the storage is kind of small. It is limited. It can only form about 500 grams of sugar. That's what it can store. So when the glycogen stores get full very fast and you're still eating, your body will tend to store the calories coming in as fat. So the way I told you, your body will tend to store it around the belly because it's the nearest. You understand what I'm saying? So you need to create a calorie deficit. So because you gain that fat and you are in a calorie surplus, so now you need to create a deficit. So you need to reduce on the frequency of eating. You need to watch what you eat. You said you need to create a calorie deficit no matter what. So it's about calories in, calories out, but then the body doesn't treat the calories that are coming in at the same time in the same way. For example, the way your body treats calories from soda. It's not the way your body treats calories from, let's say, a sweet potato or from rice or from vegetables or from fruits. It's kind of different. Understand what I'm saying? So it's not just calories in, calories out. Because you must say, I'm going to eat whatever I want, but then when I go to exercise, I'm going to burn more than that. But that's not how it works. So you need to get a caloric deficit by one, eating whole foods. I mean, cutting out stuff like sugar, cutting out, I mean, table sugar, processed sugar, a lot of juices, a lot of fast foods, a lot of junk. You need to take them out of your diet. Hope you're listening, SNP, if you're still in the house. So those calories, they are basically empty calories. And the problem with those calories is they are not satiating or they don't make you full. I mean, you're going to eat or drink all these beverages, and at the same time, like in a few minutes, you're already hungry again and you want to eat again. So what's going to happen is you're eating more calories that your body is not using. Your body is simply storing that as fat. Hope that makes some sense. So if you eat calories from whole foods, stuff from rice, stuff from sweet potatoes, stuff from oats, stuff from such kind of foods, first of all, they're satiating, which means you're going to reduce on the frequency of eating. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how you're going to create a calorie deficit over time. You need to focus on eating foods that are more satiating, and such foods, they are such kind of carbohydrates I've mentioned. There are foods like protein foods. Protein is more satiating, stuff like eggs, stuff like Greek yogurt, stuff like chicken, stuff like that. That what makes you satiated so that you don't eat all the time. Basically, that's why most people are putting on weight of late, because of the increased frequency of eating. People these days, they eat over 6 times per day. So you cannot eat 6 times per day and expect to lose weight. And here, the foundation of losing weight is a caloric deficit, but what drives that is basically the hormone insulin. Insulin is a hormone that when you eat food, it is produced to help you regulate your sugar. So all the foods that we eat, they kind of stimulate hormone in one way or the other. But carbohydrates stimulate insulin the more, followed by proteins, and lastly the fats. So if you're trying to create a caloric deficit as much as you can, you need to limit on your carb intake. But here I'm talking about processed carbohydrates. So limit processed carbohydrates as much as you can. Try to keep your insulin levels low by limiting such kind of foods. Because these foods are a problem because they've had the fiber scrapped off on top. The fiber is what helps you reduce on the absorption, or it helps you keep the glycemic index of these foods low. So when the fiber has been removed, these foods stimulate your insulin, and insulin is what's going to convert the sugar into fat. So it doesn't matter how you exercise, because exercise basically you going there and doing a bunch of useless sit-ups, leg raises, and all that. It doesn't help as long as you're not on a caloric deficit. I said here that exercise does not burn fat. Exercise builds muscle. Exercise burns calories. So the more calories you burn, the more you create a caloric deficit. So you have to be doing, if you're doing exercise, do some HIIT once in a while. So exercise will form about 15% of your whole of your goals or results. So the 75% will come basically from reducing what you food. So Shaila, you're saying basically avoid carbs. So we are not saying avoid carbs, but limit carbs. Because the problem is, however much we are saying carbs are bad, no, your body still needs carbs, because carbs provide you with energy. Your brain cannot function without sugar. Your heart cannot function without sugar. Your muscles cannot function without sugar. But which kind of sugar are you taking in? So because most people, we've taken the other route of taking a lot of processed sugar that the body does not want because it makes it not work the way it's supposed to work. For example, um, your body has a set point. When you take in your carbs, or what we call sugar, it kind of boosts your, or it's going to spike up your insulin. It's going to spike up your blood sugar. So because the body has a set point, for example, your body cannot work when the sugar is beyond 126 grams per DL, or what we call 11 millimoles per liter. So when you take in carbs, your body will not tell you that you've taken in a lot. Your body will simply take in what you've taken that is going to be beyond the set point and store it as either fat as glycogen. So that when it needs that kind of sugar, it will go break the stored one to come and fill it in blood. But the problem we have in this era, we never starve. We are ever eating all the time, which means the sugar that your body stored as fat, as carbohydrates, as fat, as glycogen, it has no chance to get it from the store because you're ever eating all the time. So you never give your body a chance to use what's stored. Your body, first of all, wait, your body does not know that you're fat. Your body does not know that you're skinny. Your body does not know that you have a six-pack. You understand what I'm saying? Your body doesn't know that. It's you who knows that. The reason why your body put on that fat, it's for a reason. It's basically put on that fat so that in terms of starvation, it has what to use. But because your body is not sure that you're going to eat supper, your body is not sure that you're going to have food all the time. What if the food is not there? Are you going to die? No, your body cannot accept that. That's why it stores the calories that come in all the time as sugar, as fat, so that when in terms of starvation, your body has something to use. I don't know if that makes some sense. So that belly fat is not basically there for showbiz. Your body knows why it's there. So for you to lose it, you must tell your body that you must starve your body. That's why we're saying you must create a caloric deficit so that your body is able to take that and get that fat that is stored. It breaks it down and then brings it and starts using it. That's the whole essence of you cutting out your sugar, the whole essence of limiting what you eat. Does that make some sense? Then another thing that you need to know, however much you want to lose fat, your body still needs fat. Because your body's hormones, your estrogen, your testosterone, your growth hormone, your other hormones, they are gotten from fats. So if you're not eating fats, where are going to produce the hormones from? But here what I'm saying eat the good fats. You're not fat because you ate fat. You're fat because you ate too much sugar. Because so much sugar is what is stored as fat. Does that make some sense? So for you to lose fat, you must keep eating fat as well. But here we're talking about healthy fats. We're talking about stuff like avocados, we're talking about stuff like olive oil, we're talking about stuff like coconut oil, basically what your body needs to eat or to receive from you. Thank you for saying you're making a lot of sense. Thank you for sticking around. Thanks for sticking around. So you must, however much you want to lose fat, you must eat some fat. So for you to lose tummy fat, as in if you're still here, you must create a consistent caloric deficit so that your body can start burning that fat. The longer you are in a caloric deficit, the more you're going to see results. Then keep training, keep doing your crunches, keep doing your leg raises, keep doing such kind of stuff. Because the more you train your muscles, the more they're going to grow, push the fat away, but at the same time, you're going to look broken. The reason why we train abs is not because some people don't have abs. Everyone has got abs. When you don't have abs, you can't survive because abs, they help you flex your spine. So if you don't have abs, how are you moving? Everyone has got abs, but the reason why your abs are not showing is because you have a high fat body percentage. So focus on losing the fat. Don't focus on exercise. The moment you lose the fat, the abs are going to pop up. As simple as that. So to lose that, you need to be in a caloric deficit, you need to get enough sleep, you need to know your goals, and you need to exercise lastly. So those four things that are going to help you see results on your tummy. Knowing the why, enough sleep, caloric deficit, and exercise. And I've told you how to create a caloric deficit. But if you're still not sure, please hit me in my DM on IG. Girls Fitness, I'll be willing to come to you and answer your question alone. If you're still not sure about that, please hit me up. If you want to know how to create a caloric deficit in a healthier way, we are not saying that starve yourself. We are not saying spend days without eating. We are simply saying do as much as you can to create a caloric deficit. It doesn't matter how you create it, whether you eat more and exercise more than that, doesn't matter. What matters most, JK, you're saying can't understand the accent, dude. What's wrong with my accent? Is my accent so African that you cannot hear me? JK, please let me know what's the problem. You're saying this chat sucks. Why? Let me know why. JK, I thought we are using English. I thought you are using English. Which kind of English do you want us to use? American English, British English? Which kind of English? You're saying I'm black and chubby. Thank you. Um. Okay, JK, I'm lost. I'm lost. So basically, what are you trying to say? Let me know. You are unable to hear what I'm saying, or the chat. You're unable to communicate with the people in the chat. Please let me know. I'm willing to hear that. How do you want me to make sure that you're getting what you are saying? JK, are you able to get me right now? Do you understand what I'm saying right now, or you are still lost? And I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion. So you can't understand me right now. Really? How come? How come that you're unable to understand me? And JK, let me know where you best, so that we are able to communicate it with each other. You're saying I'm reporting this to YouTube because I can't understand you. I don't know what you're saying. You are unable to hear me. I think I'm unable to let you be in the house. Okay, I'm unable to let that guy be in the house because I cannot continue. NK Esther, I don't know what that person was talking about because I'm confused. That's why I've timed them out so that they can first sort themselves. Perhaps they'll come to, because I don't really understand what they're talking about. So NK Esther, we can talk about fasting. Yes. So NK Esther, I wanted to do fasting as an LS on its own. But since you've asked this question and you've been an amazing person in the house, I'm going to answer your question. Does fasting good for weight loss? Absolutely yes, 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 and yes. So there's something we call intermittent fasting. There's something we call intermittent fasting. So basically, what does that one mean? It means that you have the time, the window that you're eating, and the window that you're not eating. So what happens when you're not eating? When you're not eating, basically, the whole instance of you going on to fasting is to keep your insulin down. So you need to know one thing about insulin. Insulin is a hormone that helps keep our sugars in check. You understand what I'm saying, Esther? So insulin is a fat storing hormone. So basically, when you have high insulin, it means you're storing fat. When your insulin is high, you're not storing fat. Get what I'm saying? When your insulin is low, that's when you're burning fat. So what does intermittent fasting do? Intermittent fasting helps you keep your insulin low. So when your insulin is low, then you're in a fat burning mode. So what stimulates insulin? Insulin basically goes high when we are eating and a few hours after eating. So insulin basically, fasting what it does is, I'll tell you, Esther, if you're still in the house, I know it's still here. The first meal in the morning is called breakfast because you're breaking the fast. When you are asleep for 8 hours or 10 hours, I don't know how long you sleep, you are basically fasting. So when you wake up in the morning and you take something to eat, that's why we call it breakfast, because you're breaking the fast. Hope that makes some sense. So when you're eating, your body responds by producing a hormone insulin, produced by. So this is the body that helps work on the food that you have eaten. If you've taken any sugar, it's going to convert the excess sugar into fat, convert the excess sugar into glycogen. We work on the proteins as well. We work on the fats a little bit as well. So basically, at that point when your insulin is high, you're basically storing some fat. So the time you spend while not eating, you're basically burning fat. So that's why fasting is good for weight loss. So the longer the fast, the more fat that you burn. Does that make some sense? For example, I want to say this. When you've eaten and your body has stored glycogen and your glycogen is well replenished, your body can spend 8 hours using the glycogen. It might not be even burning fat. It's using that glycogen to fuel itself. I mean, when you're sleeping, when you're fasting, your heart must keep working, your muscles must keep working, your lungs must keep working, your brain must keep working, but they need sugar. So that sugar is basically coming from glycogen. But if you go past 8 hours without eating, your body starts burning fat because the glycogen stores are now depleted. So if you go into fasting for 4 hours, you're burning more fat. If you go into fasting for 8 hours, for more 8 hours, you're burning more fat. If you're going to fasting like 16 hours, the more fat that you burn. So that's what I'm saying. Fasting is really, really good, especially if you're still here. So we basically have different fasting windows basically have different intermittent fasting windows. So when you are a beginner, if you're trying fasting for the first time, you cannot just wake up one day and spend a day without eating. I mean, your body has been used to the food, and another thing, you're not adapted to burn fat because your body has been used to you giving it food all the time. So your body has to kind of shift gradually for you to do it in a healthier way and a more convenient way. So, for example, if you're beginning to fast, eat for your 12 hours. I mean, what I'm saying, it's a window. Eat within 12 hours, but still choose the best foods to eat within that 12 hours so that you don't overstimulate your insulin. You understand what I'm saying? Then spend the next 12 hours without eating. So it means during the 8 hours of eating, for the first 8 hours, your body is basically using glycogen to, um, fuel itself. Then the 4 hours, your body is burning fat. So when you kind of get used to 12 hours, you can now shift to, let's say, 14-10, where you're eating within 10 hours. I mean, within 10 hours, you're eating whatever you want. You're doing your best to have all the best foods to eat. Still, have your junk a little bit. I mean, even if you get it out completely, but I know it's hard for most people, but have you whatever you want to eat within 10 hours. Then spend the next 14 hours of the day without eating. And why this is easy, because you already have time when you're asleep as fasting. I don't know why people don't count that. When you're asleep, it doesn't mean that you are dead. You're still fasting, though not eating. So you already have 8 hours, about 7 to 9 hours of fasting already when you're asleep. So it's a matter of, for example, either skipping your breakfast or postponing your breakfast for you to complete your 14 hours. So when you get used to 14 hours, got 16-8, eat within 8 hours, eat everything that you want to eat within 8 hours, and then fast for 16 hours. I don't know if that makes some sense. So all the 16 hours that you're fasting, I said that your body will first use glycogen, then within 8 hours, then the next 8 hours, your body will be burning fat. So when you get to 16 hours, you can do 18-6, fast for 18 hours, do 6 hours of fasting. When you get to use, go to 20 hours of fasting, 4 hours of eating. And then after there, you can choose to eat once a day. But remember, fasting does not only help you lose fat or weight loss. Fasting comes ahead of other healthy benefits. That's why it's always important for you to throw in some days of fasting, even if your goal is not to lose weight. Another reason why fasting is good, fasting will create a caloric deficit for you. To create a caloric deficit for you without even knowing. And remember, it is creating this caloric deficit without necessarily giving you hard time. You understand what I'm saying? So in a caloric deficit, your insulin is low all the time, your best kind of fat burning instead. If you're adding some exercise, you're good to go. And trust me, you start seeing results within the shortest possible time. So, Esther, do I answer your question? Have you been doing some fasting? Have you seen results with fasting? So and another thing I need to mention this, it's worth mentioning. When you're fasting, doesn't mean that you don't have to take anything. There's something we call a wet fast and a dry fast. So when you're fasting, you're allowed to take in anything else as long as it does not contain calories, or as long as it has no effect on insulin. You can take in your coffee, you can take in your green tea, you can take in your tea, you can take in everything as long as it doesn't have calories. You can drink water. I mean, you'll be struggling with the hunger all the time. You suppress that hunger with either water, coffee, green tea. I know sometimes some people, when they get thirsty, they confuse that with hunger. And when you just take water, everything becomes one again. So some people up to this point, they're unable to differentiate the difference between hunger and thirsty. So while you're fasting, it's okay for you to take coffee. It's okay for you to take some green tea. It's okay to keep doing all these other things. So Esther, do I answer your question? I still have two amazing people in the house. So thank you so much for the teachings. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you so much as well. So we still have two amazing people in the house. If you still have any question, please let me know. We're basically finishing this LS. We still have about 10 minutes to finish this LS. So if you still have more questions, please as I conclude. So I'll conclude by recapping on the topic that you don't have to eat clean all the time. Nobody's perfect, please. No one is perfect. Try to do 80% right and 20% enjoy your favorite foods. Because the reason for that, it will create adherence. The reason is you want to create a method of losing fat or of living healthy that you're able to keep consistent with. I mean, It's not about losing fat for 6 months and you put on back the fat. You understand what I'm saying? So for you, for you to continue losing fat, you need not to starve yourself of your favorite foods. Elena TL, what's up? How you doing, dear? Better it than never. I see you better it than never. So we're simply saying that eating clean, the reason why it is bad, the reason why it is not helping you lose weight, it's because you're unable to maintain it. You cannot, or you're cooking, thanks, I'm coming to eat, I'm coming to eat. You cannot fail to have your favorite foods. You can never fail to go out and have some wine, have some pizza, have some burger. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you still need to enjoy your favorite foods. But this should form at least like for 20% of your eating. The reason why most people these days is they have the junk forming the 80% and the right foods forming the 20%. So make it the opposite and everything will become easier for you. Whether you're trying to lose belly fat or what, feel free to throw in your favorite foods in there. You can still have your pizza, have your bread, have your everything. We are not saying you must skin all the time. We're not saying don't eat carbs all the time. We're simply saying eat good 80%, 20% enjoy your favorite foods. So are we together? And if you still have any question about that, please let me know. So the reason why eating clean all the time is people will tend to confuse themselves or lie to themselves that they are eating clean. And what happens is after we like no, you find them binge eating. So you've starved yourself, you've created a caloric deficit for 3 days. Then the remaining 2 days you've eaten like a thief. Let me charge my piece right here a little bit. So the problem is that is after 3 days you will eat more calories. You will basically binge eat, and of course, when you binge eat, then that's done for you because if you're unable to maintain a calorie deficit for some good time, then you can't lose weight, you can't lose fat. Because the reason why you're fat is because of a caloric surplus. You are eating more than what your body needs all the time. All the time you are eating in a caloric surplus, and the body stored the surplus as fat, as simple as that. But however much you're trying to lose the weight, you must use the healthier way, but in a consistent way, but in a convenient way as well. You understand what I'm saying? When you starve yourself, if you wake up a day and say you're not going to eat, you start putting empty plates in front of you, what's going to happen is your metabolism is going to slow down. Because your body has been used to you giving it food all the time, what's going to happen now is your body will be like, hey, this person needs to give me 2005 calories, 500 a day calories. Now he has gone to 1000. So I need to adjust myself and go to where he has gone, the 1000, which means it has slow the metabolism. You feel low, your energy is going to be affected. If you're a gym goer, you're going to find that your rep count has been affected. Your weight, the pounds you've been lifting have been affected because your metabolism is basically low. So that's why basically creating a caloric deficit is good, but you must create it in a healthier way. And the healthier way is please first track your macros, know how many calories you need to eat in a day. Then after that, make sure that you go below your maintenance calories by just 500 calories only, so that your body can easily adjust to that. But do not starve yourself of all your favorite foods. Here, it's about creating a caloric deficit, whether you eat of protein or fat. It's about creating a deficit that will help you lose weight. So some people have gotten rid of the sugar, some people have gotten rid of the fast foods, but still they're unable to lose weight. And that's the reason, because you, at the end of the day, if you're still not in a caloric deficit, whether the calories are coming from fats, whether the calories are coming from proteins, as long as you're not in a deficit, you're unable to lose weight. If you're still in the house, please say something, ask me any question. Let's chat together. Let's have some chat together as I come to the end of this live stream. Elena, I'm happy that you're learning. What are you cooking meanwhile? What are you cooking for us? What are you cooking for us? So guys, that's why I tell you the reason you want to lose weight is very, very important. Because if your reason is just because you're seeing some people with six packs, some people with flat waist, and that's why you want to lose weight, then it's going to be hard for you. You're cooking bien, Darol. You're cooking bien. She's cooking the offers, guys. So yeah, it's about consistency. So it's about patience, 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 patience. Because you didn't put on this fat for 2 days, or within a week, or within a month. Oh wow. Esther is asking an interesting question here. What's the difference between fat and calories? Wow, I think we should have started from this. Basically, calories, Esther, calories is basically a measure of your food energy. I mean, your food energy is measured in calories. It's like, Esther, how you put water in a jerry can and measure it in liters. So your body, the food that you take in, for the body to get energy from it, it's counted in calories. So when your body burns the food, when your body digests the food and then it metabolizes it, it gets what we call calories. So those calories are the ones that help you provide you with energy. So basically fat has calories. When you're taking fat, your body burns it to get the energy from that fat. So the energy it gets from the fat is what we call calories. Does that make some sense? Esther, does that make some sense? So when you've taken in some carbohydrates, you've taken a beverage drink, your body is going to metabolize that, and at the end of the day, it's going to get something out of it called energy. But that energy is counted in calories. It's like other measurements, like we say that this is from here up to here is measured in centimeters. But in actual sense, centimeters don't exist. So calories, in actual sense, they don't exist, but it's basically a measure of food energy. So Esther, tell me if it's now making some sense to you. Yes, so that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. So everything that you take in, proteins, carbohydrates, everything has calories. It's only water does not have calories. Coffee does not have calories. Those ones they have other substances, but not calories. But proteins, food, beverage, everything has calories. So when you take them in, your body will tend to work on them so that at the end of the day it gets energy from them. And that energy is what we call calories. So in real sense, calories don't exist, but it's simply a measure. It's simply a measure. So basically, the energy form is called ATP, or what we call adenosine triphosphate. And I saying you're talking rocket science to Esther. This is not rocket science. I'm trying as much as I can to make her understand this. I'm trying to explain to her so that she can understand this. So basically, the food you take in, for example, when you take in 1 gram of carbohydrates, your body will burn it and can only provide 4 calories. Your 1 gram of fat provides about nine calories. So protein and carbohydrates, they have the same number of calories when you burn them. So protein will give you 4 calories, carbs will give you more 4 calories. So basically, that is it. So it's those calories that will be converted into energy. So calories is simply a measure of food energy, the way you see centimeters, the way you see liters, the way you see other kind of like measurements. So those measurements in real life, they don't exist. It's like how you see weight. Weight is measured in kilograms, but the word kilogram in real sense doesn't exist. Get what I'm saying? It's basically weight, but to get a measure of it, it is kilograms. It's the same as kilometers. Because the distance, it's just a distance. But the word kilometer, it really does not exist in science or anywhere. It's simply a measure that was created. So the same applies to calories. I see you, Jimmy. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Say they call me the Prince of Bel. How you doing? And you're in Philadelphia. How you doing? Happy that you are here. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming to my LS. I appreciate you beyond measure. So Anna is saying, what do they have? What are you asking? I don't understand what is asking Elena TL. So Prince, how you doing? Hope you are fine. I hope you have subscribed to this channel. Hope you've given me a thumbs up. Guys, if you stay in the house and you haven't clicked that like button, please smash it, smash it, smash it, smash it right about now. Don't forget to do that because it's really what makes my channel grow. And it's really what helps to push this video. So if you haven't smashed that like button, do it right now. So Esther, have I answered your question or I've confused you the more? Let me know. Let me know, Esther, if I've confused you more, if I've answered your question. So the Prince of Bel, how you doing? How is that side? Jim, you're asking, what about watermelon and chicken? Is that good to eat? Absolutely. I mean, chicken is good. One, chicken is a protein, it's basically lean protein, and your body needs protein. As long as you don't eat the other skin that has been branded to have cholesterol, but the rest of the meat is basically lean meat, lean protein, contains a lot of leucine, the amino acid that your body needs to build some muscle, for you to look nice, and all that. So basically, chicken is good. And one chicken breast is about 26 grams of protein. So 26 times 4, how many calories are those? About 100 calories. So chicken is absolutely good. Very good. So if you're looking forward to building some muscle, please, you need chicken. Watermelon. Watermelon is one of the best foods ever. Watermelon has got a lot of potassium in it, has got a lot of antioxidants in it. But on top of that, this watermelon has a lot of water in it. So if you're taking this watermelon, you're going to stay hydrated. You're getting all the potassium. Potassium is basically one of the important minerals in your body. Your body uses potassium, for example, for your heart health, for your brain, for nerve conduction, for everything. And most of us, we are always deficient of potassium. So if you're taking enough potassium from watermelon, which is our LDL, which is 4,700, so we never meet that. So 4,700 is big that some people actually never meet. So if you are able to get your watermelon and chicken, they're absolutely okay. Stella Odudu Vlog, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to my LS. I appreciate that you're here. You're saying greetings to everyone in the house. They are hearing, they are seeing you. Thanks so much for coming, and we appreciate you and we love you. If you're not familiar with this amazing Nigerian, I know she's based in Italy. If I can recall, please check her out and be fun with her. She's an amazing YouTuber out there. So anything you're saying, coffee and water. Coffee is absolutely okay. Water is health. I mean, every cell in your body has water. Every cell in your body needs water to function. So water is very healthy, absolutely. Coffee is good, but too much of it is bad. Too much of the coffee is bad, of course. I mean, too much, what do I mean? Coffee, first of all, It's a CNS stimulant. Your central nervous system, your brain, your spinal cord, the central nervous system is stimulated by coffee. Your cardiovascular system, your heart, your blood vessels, and everything, they all coffee stimulates them. So what happens is if you take a lot of coffee, coffee is a psychoactive drug, but coffee, it also boosts your metabolism. It basically inhibits what you call adenosine. Coffee releases a lot of, makes your body release a lot of calcium. So coffee is basically going to make your metabolism boosted, but you don't need to do that a lot. For example, it's going to cause you some palpitations because it stimulates the release of adrenaline. So after drinking coffee, because it has caffeine, the substance in coffee is called caffeine. So that caffeine is a psychoactive drug, and that's CNS stimulant and both a CVS stimulant. So what's going to do is going to create a lot of adrenaline being released in your blood, so you get palpitations, you can even get headache, on top of stimulating your metabolism. So coffee, the reason why they say it's good for losing weight, it's because it stimulates your metabolism. So your faster your metabolism, the more calories you're burning, the more you get in a caloric deficit, and of course, you lose weight. But you don't need to take a lot of it. So some caffeine, they say you're supposed to take about 100 to 300 milligrams per day, depending on the strength of the caffeine that you're taking. So please, if you're taking caffeine, good for you, but too much of it is bad. So the key word here is drink it in moderation. So don't go beyond 300 milligrams per day of caffeine. So my girl NATL, water and caffeine, absolutely okay. But if you're someone not so active, there's no reason why you should be taking a lot of caffeine. W Man, what's up? Chris Fitness, hi doing bro, hope you're having a great time. You're saying what kind of malt liquor do you recommend? And you're asking, are you in a gang? Which kind of gang? I need to be brought up speed when it comes to that. So first of all, I've talked about alcohol when on this channel. I've talked about alcohol. But since you've just joined us, I'll talk about it briefly. Basically, alcohol. This is the problem with alcohol. Alcohol contains calories. So if you're someone trying to create a caloric deficit, and then you're taking alcohol, just so you're getting surplus calories. But on top of that, you're getting empty calories. Your body does not need calories from alcohol. If those calories don't exist, your body doesn't mind whether there's alcohol or not. So that's the problem with alcohol. I don't care which kind of alcohol that you're taking, but that's when it has empty calories. But the problem with any kind of alcohol is your body treats alcohol as a toxin. Doesn't matter which kind of alcohol. Alcohol is a toxin. So when you're taking alcohol, your body treats it as a toxin. So when your body is treating that toxin, when the body is working on the toxin, the attention to others, like food, it's all shifted to alcohol. Because you can't have an enemy and you focus on the non-enemy. You have to first work on the enemy, and then when you face the enemy, that's when you're going to come and work on the non-enemy. So since alcohol is a toxin, your body will tend to shift all the attention to it, so that can eliminate that toxin. So the food that you're taking while you're taking the alcohol, for example, that food is put to waste because your body's not going to use it because it's working on a toxin. And I see most people doing this all the time. Most people are just, out drinking alcohol, but at the same time they are snacking. There's no reason why you should snack, because at the end of the day, whatever you're taking in, your body's not going to use it. But you can't blame them, because when you're taking alcohol basically stimulates appetite. Alcohol increases your appetite to eat. And that's what I'm saying. So it increases your appetite to eat, but even the food you're taking in, alcohol is not using it. So basically what I'm saying is malt liquor, what I want to say this, when you're going to take alcohol, I'm not saying completely eliminate alcohol. I'm saying drink in moderation. Don't binge drink. Alcohol has so many effects that I cannot share because I've already recorded about 3 videos about alcohol. You can go on my videos and you check them out. But what you need to know is alcohol, you must drink it in moderation. Doesn't matter which kind of alcohol that you're drinking, but the key here is moderation. Drink what your body can metabolize because your alcohol affects, I think, the worst. So if you're taking alcohol and your metabolism is low, of course you're storing fat. When your metabolism is low, you're storing fat. You're not burning fat. But on top of that, alcohol has other chronic side effects like it can cause acute sinus depression, respiratory depression, myocardial infarction, cardiomyopathy. There's so many things that chronic alcoholism can cause. So we don't want to go up to that. So the key here, any kind of alcohol take, but the key is moderation. You have any other question that do you recommend any kind of black sausage to eat? Um, hmm. So my W man, I mean, I'm going to choose to call you we man. I'm not well conversant with sausages because I've not been taking a lot of sausages, so I don't know which one is good, which one is bad. Because the ones I've tasted, the black ones that we have here in Uganda, the ones that are locally made here, to me, they are good. To me, they are good. But the key here is every food that you're taking, there's nothing like a healthy food all the time. Much of it over time has a side effect. If it is eggs, if it is any kind of food that you know, when you overeat it, it has some side effects. But if you're still trying to eat for health reasons, not for fat loss, I mean, we are saying 80% eat right, but 20% enjoy your favorite foods. So if you can have your sausages once in a while, it's okay. Have it. Whether you're eating for health reasons or for fat loss, have your sausage. I don't care whether it's a black sausage or white sausage, I don't know the types, but have it. Have it. Rima, do I answer your question? Really, I'm not a chef, I'm not really a super nutritionist that I know all the foods, but when it comes to black sausages, yes, I've tasted some sausages, they really taste sweet, but at the end of the day, for me, it's about enjoying my favorite foods once in a while, whether something is recommended for eating, but as long as I'm not having it all the time. Just 20% of my, my intake, then I really don't have any problem with that. So I still have 4 amazing people in the house. I still have 4 amazing people in the house. So women, hope I answered your question. If you have any other question, please let me know. Let me know if you still have any other question. Women, you have an interesting question. Have you ever been masked after a dinner date? No, I won't answer that. The women, unfortunately, I won't answer that because no, I wouldn't want to share that experience for me. I really wouldn't share that experience for me. For myself, let's leave at that experience. I please you forgive me. I want to really share that experience. But thanks so much for the question, bro. I appreciate your question. I appreciate your question. There's 4 amazing people in the house. If question, let me know, especially related to the topic, let me know. If you still have some good question. No, women, I'm not a movie guy basically. Me, I'm a musical guy. I just love listening to my music for myself. I'm not so much of a music guy. I mean, a movie guy. There are few movies I've actually watched. If I'm to watch a movie, it's either because oh, Esther, I appreciate you beyond measure. You've been in the house for almost the time I started up to now. Thanks so much. Just I can't wait to see my next LS. I really cannot wait. I really cannot wait. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today and see you. Mike, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome, 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 welcome. Victorian's TV channel. Hi. Hi, host. Saying hi, host. Thumbs up for the host. So, we've been having an interesting topic today about eating clean. Is it helping you lose weight or it has not worked for you? And we are simply saying, I mean, you don't have to eat clean all the time. It's simply eating like 20%, 80% clean, and then 20% enjoy your favorite foods. Enjoy your favorite foods. Yes, Victorian's TV channel. We became fam today. I'm just doing great. Thanks for coming to my areas. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for coming through. So if you have any question regarding weight loss, fat loss, fitness, exercise, please ask me any question. And thanks for the amazing thumbs up. And thanks for the amazing thumbs up. I really appreciate you. So if you have any question regarding those things, fitness, nutrition, training, and all that, please feel free to ask me. If you have any goals related to your nutrition, fat loss, fitness, training, please, Victorian TV channel, feel free to let me know. Guys, give me a second. A second, guys. I'll be back. So guys, sorry about that. Sorry about that, and thanks for coming for hanging on. So Victoria's TV channel was saying, host, no matter how much I try, my abs fat still remains. No, 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 no. Please, maybe you've not tried enough. Maybe there's some things, the mistakes that you have committed, and that's why your ab fat still remains. So basically, in this house for about 1.5 hours, we've been talking about how to best lose your belly fat. We are simply saying one thing you need to do. I'm just going to break them for you. You need first create a caloric deficit. I mean, you need to eat less than what your body needs. Number 2, you need to get adequate sleep. Number 3, you need to exercise. Number 4, you need to be patient. Number 5, you need to be patient. Number 6, you need to be patient. 7, you need to be patient, 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 and patient. Please do not give up. Do not give up. And that's why I'm here. Trust me, Victorian's TV channel, if you're really committed, I'm here to really help you lose some fat. So how do you create? So have you been in a caloric deficit? I mean, there are so many ways to create a caloric deficit. You are saying you can either choose to do intermittent fasting, but number 2, you can either choose to watch what you're eating. But we're saying as much as you want to go in a caloric deficit, you must do it in a healthier way, because one of the reasons why some people fail to lose weight despite being in a caloric deficit is These people, they do it. I mean, you're at 100 and you all the way come to 0. So we are saying, even creating a caloric deficit, you must create it in a healthier way. The healthier we're saying, don't go below 500 calories of what you've been eating or of your maintenance calories. If your maintenance calories, first of all, you need to calculate your maintenance calories. Shafi, ex-Shafi, how you doing? What's up? What's up, bro? Welcome to the house. Welcome to the house. I'm doing great. Remember to thumbs up for the host. So basically, I'm ex-Shafi. I'm from Africa. I'm based in Uganda, East Africa all the way. East Africa all the way. Hello, I appreciate that you've been able to come through. So the extensive, I'm saying, you need to first calculate how many calories you eat in a day. How many calories does your body want? And to do that, basically get your weight in pounds and multiply that by 15. So you get the maintenance calories that your body needs. Then after getting that, try to track your macros. Try to know if I'm taking a yellow banana, how many calories are in a yellow banana. And there's so many apps online that can help you track your macros. So go check them out and download one of them and then try to, track your macros. So after getting that, then know how many calories you're taking in a day. So if your maintenance calories is like 2,500, you want to go into a deficit of 500. Because what happens, 1 pound of fat is about 3,500 calories. So which means you can only lose 1 pound of fat in a week. So if you're losing 1 pound of fat in a week, how about a month? But that's not the most important. The most important is if you're in a 500 caloric deficit every day, which means in a week, that's 3,500 calories. So what does that one mean? Is per week, you're losing 1 pound of fat. So in a month, those are 4 pounds. Imagine in 6 months, imagine in a year. Victoria's TV, I think you know what I'm saying. But also there's something that most people forget is, why do you want to lose belly fat? Have you asked yourself? Extra figure saying you would deserve more subscribers. Thank you. That's my prayer. Have you asked yourself why you want to lose belly fat? Have you asked yourself why you want your abs to pop? Why in the first place? Why? Do you want those abs because you saw someone in a movie having a six-pack? So after asking yourself that why, after changing your mindset, after knowing that this is the reason perhaps I should have a six-pack or have no belly fat, that will form your foundation. And the stronger your foundation, the stronger your goal, the more resilient you're going to be in your journey. That's why some people are unable to completely lose this belly fat. Some people will lose it, then after some few months they regain it back because they didn't have long-term goals. They simply want to, have a flat waist, and that's basically it. Then after that, they go back to their old bad habits and they regain all back the fat. And we're simply saying that for you to lose belly fat, one thing you need to know is there's nothing like a spot fat reduction. Your body, you can't tell your body that I want to lose fat on my face and your body does that. You can't tell the body that you want to lose fat on your chest and your body does that. So your body does not do reduction. When you start losing fat, you lose fat your entire body, including the spot that you're trying to target. So, can you lose belly fat? Yes. Can you target belly fat? No. Ugandan girl child brain. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you. Better late than never. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. So, Victoria, your body does not target fat loss. So trust me, when you start your fat loss journey, you're going to start losing fat from your face, from your arms, including the spot which is the belly that you're trying to target. So aim at creating a consistent caloric deficit. Create it one by eating right foods. Eat whole foods, focus on foods like rice, whole foods like leafy vegetables, focus on foods that have a lot of fiber, focus on that stuff. Focus on foods that have low calories, but at the same time, these foods, they are filling or they are more satiating. Get what I'm saying? So focus on trying to eat in a deficit, but don't suffer with hunger. So you want to eat foods that are more satiating. Stop eating junk that will keep you wanting to eat all the time. Because basically what junk foods do is they simply mess up with your insulin, and then you get an insulin sugar crash, and then the body tells you're in a state of hyperglycemia or your low sugars, and then you want to eat all the time. That's why despite you drinking the whole factor of soda, you can't get full for 5 hours. Because those are empty calories, your body does not need them. They'll simply be stored as fat. So what you gotta do is you need to capitalize on whole foods. But once in a while, that's why the title of the video is eating clean is stopping you from losing weight. Because I know you are unable to completely eliminate taking soda or any beverage or sugar drink out there on the market. But 80% do the right thing, 20% enjoy your favorite foods. I mean, I'm not saying stop taking a burger, stop going out and taking pizza. You still need to take your pizza. The reason when you eliminate the computer in your diet, you're not going to adhere to the method. You're going to hate the process. And for you to start seeing results, you need to love the process. Of Victorian's TV channel, I'm answering your question. So you need to love what you're doing, but you shouldn't starve yourself to love what you're doing. You should enjoy what you're doing. So 80% enjoy your favorite foods, which are supposed to be whole foods. I mean, enjoy the whole foods, then 20% enjoy your favorite foods. So it's not basically, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter which kind of foods you're eating, but what matters a lot is about creating a caloric deficit. So how you create a caloric deficit, how long you stay in a caloric deficit is what's going to help you lose the belly fat. Then number two, the reason why belly fat is always hard to lose, especially for men. Ladies actually lose belly fat faster than men because that's how genetically we are. Because even when our body is depositing fat, it deposits fat for men faster on the abdomen, and then for ladies on the hips very fast. That's why women, when they're starting to gain some fat, they get fat on the hips first before they can see their belly fat. And for men, we are different. That's why we first see the belly fat coming before, when we start gaining some weight. Hope that makes some sense. But the reason why belly fat is hard to lose is because it has a poor blood supply. Because when you're exercising, you expect your body to go and get some calories from fat to get some energy. But the way your body can reach the fat is through the blood supply. So when the blood supply is poor, of course, it's not going to be easy for your body. You understand what I'm saying? So it's about you trying to being patient and being consistent. That's basically it. Hey, Real Show. Lily, what's up? How you doing? What you doing? Welcome. Better yet than never. We just 2 hours into the LS. Better yet than never. So that's what you need to know. Then you need to get enough sleep. Victorian's TV channel, you don't lose fat while you are in the gym, you don't lose fat while you are cooking, you don't lose fat while you are working, you don't lose fat while you are at your workplace, you lose fat while you are asleep. Because there's some hormones that optimize your fat loss. One is growth hormone, and is optimized when you're asleep. Two is leptin, which is a satiety hormone. These are hormones that helps you burn fat, and these hormones are produced when you're asleep. So do the work during the day so that you burn fat at night. So if you're having insufficient sleep, there's no way how you're going to lose fat. Does that make some sense? So I recommend that you have about 7 to 9 hours of sleep. So 7 to 9 hours of sleep is basically insufficient for you to start losing fat or to get results. Even for bodybuilding, it's the same. If you're trying to put on some muscle on you, You don't put on the muscle when you're lifting the machine in the gym, or when you're running, or when you're doing your car. You basically do that when you're asleep. That's why when you deprive yourself of sleep, no results. No results. Then another thing, Victoria's TV channel, if you're still in the house, that I recommend for you to do is I recommend you to start on some intermittent fasting. You basically need to reduce on the frequency of eating. So you need to have a window that you are eating in, and of course a fasting window. The reason why it helps, because the reason why you are fat is there's a hormone called insulin, and this is the hormone that is released by your body, by your pancreas, in response to food. So carbohydrates stimulate your hormone the more, processed foods stimulate that hormone the more, and then proteins come in second, and of course the fats. So the more that hormone is in blood, what we call hyperinsulinemia, or how if that hormone is in high amounts in blood, it's basically a fat storing hormone. When it is low, then you're in a fat burning mode. So the best way to create that is by eating whole foods which have low calories, which have low sugar, so that you're not stimulating that hormone all the time. And also those foods have low calories, which means they will keep you in a caloric deficit, but at the same time keeping your insulin low. You understand what I'm saying? Then another thing is intermittent fasting is basically when you're eating, your insulin is high. That's why I'm saying you have to create an eating window and then a fasting window. When you're eating, your insulin is high and you're storing some fat and some glycogen. But when you're not eating, when you're fasting, your body burns will tend to use the glycogen that of course came from insulin storing the sugar. Then in 8 hours, the glycogen will be done, and then your body will resort to burning fat. So when you start burning fat, so the longer you are in the fast, the more fat that you burn, because the glycogen stores can only help your body, can only push your body, can only supply your body with sugar for only 8 hours. So which means if you fast for 12 hours, you have 4 hours of burning fat without exercising. That's why we're saying you can lose belly fat without necessarily exercising at all. Yes. So that's what you basically need. So you need to reduce on the frequency of eating, because the more times you eat, the more you stimulate insulin, and the more times, the longer your insulin is high, the more you're storing fat, not burning fat. And the longer your insulin is low, the more you're burning fat. So the longer the fast, the more the fat you burn. So if you still want me to talk about intermittent fasting, let me know so that I can do a specific talking about intermittent fasting, so that we can digest it and then know what to do about it, how to begin, what to do during intermittent fasting, and all that. Let me know in the chat right now so that I can schedule that areas for you. So if you're still in the house, please let me know that you're in the house so that you can have an amazing chat. Or I can answer a question, but hope Victoria's TV channel have answered your question. Jimmy, you're asking me some questions. You're saying, would you recommend eating cleat stick? Oh my God, what's that? I'm not a super nutritionist, I'm just a therapist. And I don't know all the foods that exist in the world. Some foods exist in certain countries, some foods don't. So I really cannot tell what a cleat stick is. So Jimmy, please, I really cannot tell what you're talking about. I really don't know what a cleat stick is. I don't know what it is. I won't lie you. So you're gonna say, wait, you mean I shouldn't eat my foods as much as I want? Okay, I see your question. You're saying, so you mean I shouldn't eat my foods as much as I want? You can eat your foods as much as you want, as long as you want to gain fat. But if you want to lose fat, please, you must reduce the food that you eat. You must eat in what you call a caloric deficit. So you're saying 80% you must eat the foods that will help you burn fat, the foods that you know will put in a deficit, the foods that are nutrient dense, that have a lot of nutrients, instead of focusing on your fast foods, on your junk, on your processed foods that that do not contain nutrients at all, that don't have any nutritional value. So we are saying 20% that. No. So about that, someone just interrupted me a little bit, but hope you forgive me, guys. So if you still have any, so Ugandan girl, please, Brenda, eat all the foods that you want, but this should form 20% of your foods. So, Jimmy, I want to tell you this about veins. Guys, allow me a little bit so that I cross here. So I'm running off from some interruption here. So Jimmy, if you want to get veins, I actually have some visible veins. Hope you're able to see this, Jimmy. Um, hey Sheila, what's up? What's up? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. So if you want to get these veins, you have to be low fat body percentage, because everyone has got these veins, but the reason why your veins are not showing, Jimmy, because you are at a high fat body percentage. So for you, if you want these veins to show, you must please be at a lower fat body percentage. So you need to focus on losing fat first and then training. When you start training and trying to do some certain exercise for biceps, if you're trying to do stuff like hammer curls, even curls, some specific type of curls, they will help your bicep veins, or to what we call this cephalic vein, this one you see here, to pop up. So you basically need to be at a low fat body. Hope I answer your question. Sheila, what's up? Better late than never. I appreciate that you're here, and thumbs up for the host. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, Sheila. Any question about fat loss, please let me know. So, Victorian's channel, did I answer your question? Please let me know. Jimmy Welch, I've answered your question. For you to see your veins popping, one, you must have a low fat body percentage, but two, you must train your biceps. You must add some muscle on them, and then you have those veins popping. So Brenda is saying, okay, in this life, I can't kill myself with weight because my sister eats as much as junk she wants, but she never gains weight. But their mind is dieting, but fat. Uh-huh. So Brenda, that's what I say. Please, when you try dieting, diet the right way. Hmm? Diet the right way. But also, there's something we call toffee, Brenda. If you stay, that is, you're thin outside, but fat inside. So your sister, genetically, might find she's not putting fat outside, but she's depositing a lot of fat around her visceral organs, which is not good. So tell her that please, if she's eating junk, but junk is not good for her. So we are all different. We're all different. Some people will tend to have larger fat adipocytes, where they are able to put a lot of fat, subcutaneous fat. Some people have small ones, so they tend to put more of their fat around the visceral organs or inside, but they don't have the belly fat. But basically, Brenda, I'm just curious about how you're dieting, because you might be dieting the wrong way, and that's what we're trying to talk about here. You might find you're starving yourself of all your favorite foods, but if you're dieting, are you in a consistent caloric deficit? How long have you been dieting? How long have you been dieting? It's really, really very, very important. And we're saying, please, as much as you're dieting, make sure. How do you know that you're dieting? Are you tracking your macros? Do you know how many calories are you eating in a day? You might think that you're actually dieting, but in a real sense, you're not dieting. Brenda, does that make some sense? Are you tracking carbohydrates you're taking? Are you tracking your fats? Are you tracking your protein that you're taking? Do you know how much that you're taking in? And that's what we've been talking about for you trying to track your macros. Then another thing, do you know how many calories your body needs? Because you need to first calculate how many of your calories your body needs for you to live, for your body to function. How many calories does it need? Have you tried to calculate that? So you might think that you're actually dieting, but you're not actually dieting. You're eating in a surplus, and that's why your gains are affected. If you're dieting right, are you getting sufficient sleep? Hmm? Are you getting sufficient sleep? Or else have you been dieting enough? So you need to ask yourself all those questions. So it's not basically like fatness follows. No? It's because one or two things are not right. Either you think you're dieting, but in real sense, yes, you might be dieting, but are you dieting the healthier way? Diet, for example, if you diet and starve your body, for example, if your maintenance calories are 2,000 and you take all the way and you start eating 1,000 calories, your body is going to take to that and it's going to slow your metabolism. So the slower your metabolism, you can't lose fat. The slower your fat loss will be. So Brenda, do I make some sense? You need to really inbox me and we establish where the problem is coming from. Brenda, you need to inbox me so that we can have an honest conversation about this. Hope it does make some sense. Hope it does make some sense. So if you're still in the house, please let me know that you're in the house. If you have any question, let me answer. If you have any questions, please let me answer. I still have four amazing people in the house. I just have like 5 minutes to the end of this live stream, and I wouldn't want to go when when I've not answered any of your questions. So, Uganda girl, you've noted that. So you've perhaps committed 1, 2 mistakes that have not really helped you lose some fat. So, Jim, you're still in the house and you're asking advice on taking ready fish. How do you make it less gamey and reduce the smell? Thanks so much. Oh my God, Jimmy, the law came from me. I'm not really a good chef when it comes to cooking. I just sometimes eat my salmon fish, my tilapia fish. Sometimes I eat it dry. Sometimes I eat it when it's fresh. So even the red fish itself, I really don't know how it even looks like. So please, you just forgive me a little bit because like where I live, we don't have a lot of water bodies. I'm not sure about the rate of sea fish. Read about that. I don't know different types of sea fish. I've never seen them. They're not sold here, not in our markets here. So I basically cannot lie you. I basically can't lie you. So I have 1 or 2 minutes at the end of the stream, guys. I have 2 minutes at the end of the stream, but I really appreciate you for keeping around with me. I really appreciate you for keeping around with me. So I'm looking forward to doing more live streams so that you guys can come and just have a live chat together and answer your questions live. So I still have 4 amazing people in the house. I just have like 2 minutes at the end of this. I just have like few minutes at the end of the stream. No, I don't, bro. So Jimmy asking, do I like bros? No, I don't. I don't. Jimmy, I don't do that. I don't like the bros. So guys, you're going to allow me end this stream here so that I can catch you next time. But you've been an amazing audience. I appreciate you for your time, for your questions, and for giving me company. Guys, next LS. My love.